Hello! Hey, back to you. Welcome everybody to another episode of Burgers and TTBurger Burgers and Fries Game Talk with a Shake. It's on episode 12 here today. And joining me is another person here. My co-host Germano couldn't make it for reasons I don't know why. I don't know where he's at. I mean, like he said he'd be at this time stuff, and he's not there. So I don't know where he went, but who knows? Maybe
But
he's
at
just.
least you always have me.
That's true, and I'm here with the Hyperactive Princess, known as Sadet from her native
I'm actually
Canada.
planning. I'm actually planning to change my username from the Hyperactive Princess to the Hyperlamia.
Hyperlamia, what does that mean?
You've never seen a half snake, half human creature before? Kind
I
of like
ha-
Medusa, but not Medusa?
I have, but I never knew that was the name of it.
Well, there's actually two names, Lamia and Naga.
Ah, there we go. I heard of Naga, but never heard of Hyperlamia. So yeah, never mind that. I guess I have heard of it then. But yeah, it's like Sadet's here and stuff like that. And we were going to make a podcast on E3, but Sadet had another idea to talk about video
Plus,
game.
too
Go
much
ahead.
time has passed for the E3 thing, so we'll have
Yes,
to save that for next year.
yeah, probably. But we're gonna talk about music in video games, video game music and stuff. Like
Uh-huh.
there's a huge variety of video game music. You got you got like techno orchestral rock tunes and more.
But
And
it didn't always start it off sounding so grandiose.
no, back in the days it was all 8-bit sounding and stuff because
And even before then, there was like beep, beep, beep,
yeah, beep
and
beep
just
beep
the
beep
odd
beep.
sound effect.
Yeah, because that was all we had to go on back in the day. And Sadet, this was your idea to make this podcast on this topic. Why don't you start us off here?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, video game music has come a long way, starting off with like a simple sound, that simple music piece that's, for example, like do 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 do,
Yeah, like those.
like
Go ahead.
simple, like how the Mario Bros theme was, or do 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 do, and it was just mostly like a bass sound in the old Donkey Kong arcade game where it's like do 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 do.
Yeah, yeah, those were the days there and stuff. That of course you also had oh man, I'm just getting nostalgia here of all things like that there. But like just how music has evolved and stuff like that. Like nowadays you'll
Yep.
have like a variety of like orchestral and rock and roll. It's pretty much all you'll
And
have.
vocal songs, like,
Yes, no,
yes, I'm probably going to just end up singing quite a
yeah,
bit in this.
yeah. Careful what you sing though. We don't want to get a copyright strike now. If we do that, you gotta careful what you sing though. So that's
I'm pretty sure we'll be safe as long as it's within 10 seconds.
true. Yeah, that's true. But like I do remember like just when I
And
first I
plus,
mean
technically, if we're not playing the music, and I'm just like singing the lyrics, I don't think we'll get in trouble for that. So,
yeah, that's true. You got a point there. I guess I never realized that, but yeah, like I just remember like talking about vocal tracks. I did know that like there were that video game soundtrack had licensed songs in them, and that was pretty cool. But the first time I heard vocal tracks exclusive to a video game had to be when I played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle for the GameCube when I heard Escape from the City Escape, and I thought to myself, whoa, this is cool. I thought I was like, whoa, this is cool. It's like, is this a real band? I thought to myself, I didn't know anything about it because the game didn't tell you anything, and then you realize it was Crush 40 and stuff, and I thought to myself, hey, this is pretty cool, and like, what's funny about this song is that I knew the lyrics to the song right after I heard the song one time. Like, yes, the song was so catchy, you started knowing the lyrics to it right away for some odd reason. I don't know why. It's like that of me when I hear a song by the band Cascada. Like whenever I heard every song I heard by Cascada the first time, I knew the lyrics to it right away. The first time I heard their songs. I don't know how that was even possible, but I just did. It's a thing. I mean, it's weird, I know, but yeah, that's basically what it was. And
and
like,
there's more than just one way for a vocals track. Sometimes it can be an acapella, like how Super Mario's Sunshine did it with the do 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 do
Yeah, I know.
do.
That's how I learned about acapella music. Actually, that's how I learned about acapella music. And also, you want to get cool songs that have Japanese lyrics to them. Like, for example, the Katamari games and like the Vocaloid games. Like all their songs are in Japanese. Well, almost all of them are in Japanese. Some of them have English to them and stuff. But yeah, that's just basically what it is there.
Tokyo Mirage Session, Sharp FE, and Encore.
What about them?
Those have some of my favorite vocal songs. They're in Japanese, but they are really good.
Ah, I get you. Because like I do remember like I'm trying to think what other songs that I like and stuff. Like I guess like you gotta like the rock tunes. That's to me that started off with the game Air Combat, the first Ace Combat. I would had like the rock tunes during the game and just I mean like the way the guitar sounded. What are you humming there?
Reincarnation from Tokyo Mirage
Oh,
Session.
I was talking about the original Ace Combat soundtrack for the moment.
I've never heard of Ace Comet, so
Ace Combat. You know that
Ace
flying.
Combat.
Yeah, you never heard of them? You never heard of that series? It's a flying game by Namco. Arcade flying game by Namco.
That probably explains it.
Yeah, cause like the way the guitar sounded in the original Air Combat, aka Ace Combat, it had that interesting sound to it, where it sounded that sounded like different from other guitars and such. It just something sounded to it, and like it was just like the music was only composed by like a few people, and it was pretty catchy at its time there. And this was
If
like
you want to know impressive, look at Toho. The whole entire thing was done by one person.
I believe that, yeah, that I do believe definitely, and like I do.
It's actually fact.
I know. I believe it. I believe it. It's a fact. It's a fact that I believe definitely. In fact, like I remember, like when I heard but probably one of my favorite soundtracks of all time is probably Tekken 3. Tekken 3 happens to be my favorite game on the PlayStation of all time, like I mentioned before in many of my videos. But like the thing is like when it came to like the first three Tekken games, they had two soundtracks to it. The arcade soundtrack and the remix soundtrack. I always prefer the arcade original soundtrack, it's the original. Some people prefer the remix because like they're longer and stuff, but just me. When it comes to me, I prefer originals over remixes. It's just who I am. I can't really explain it.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I don't know about you, but you fan of what would
Right,
you?
Dex. No scratch in the chair.
Yeah, she's talking to her cat Dexter. I guess he's misbehaving again, there, people. So yeah, but I
You are a little troublemaker. You know that?
yeah,
Oh, don't you go grabbing my hand there, boy.
yeah. Don't worry, people. She's just talking to the cat. Don't need to worry. Nothing to see here, people. Move along. But
Anyways,
like I do remember.
even video game music that doesn't sound like it has a vocal track actually do have a vocal track in their related CD. For example, Mega Man Zero. The second, like all four games, I believe, have at least one vocal track, but it's not in the game itself. It's in the CD.
That makes sense, yeah, cause like it's kind of like that with what it's kind of trying to think what it's similar to. I mean, I know there was a game I had in mind and stuff. I just can't think at the moment what it was there because
I know the Italia series has the same thing as well in some of their CDs.
yeah. Oh, I know which one it is. The Soul Blade soundtrack, like the
Oh
CD.
yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you this. Like they have three soundtracks: original, arrange, and Con Super Session, which is just like oh soundtrack of its own. I use Con Super Session. The thing is, the songs on the CD are longer than they are in the game, and like it's just like cool that they added that stuff because just that the songs just end abruptly in the game, but in the CD they end perfectly, and that's cool there. Cause like I forgot all about that until now. I can't believe I forgot about that. But still, what can you do? But like you said,
I think Dexter Dexter's trying to steal me from the show right now because he wants belly rubs.
I actually remember the very first video game soundtrack I got was actually this one called Nintendo 64 Cool Cuts. Had songs from Mario, Pilot Wings, and Wave Race. It was mostly Mario with those songs. But,
There's also some pretty cool unused tracks in games as well.
like, GoldenEye was a perfect example. Like, a lot of the unused tracks were used in, like, the multiplayer. But the thing is that, what's the point of putting unused tracks on a CD when they're not in the game, though? I mean, what was the point of putting them on there in the first place?
To show you, hey, we were planning to add these, but had to replace them, but we want to share them with you in some way, shape, or form.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Because that definitely...
Because if you work on something and end up having to replace it, you still want to, like, show your original work if you're really proud of that, right?
Right. You do. Because, like, I'm trying to think. Like, I know Ace Combat kind of did that. And, Banjo-Kazooie. Yeah, Banjo-Kazooie did that as well. We had...
Stop!
We had the Banjo-Kazooie soundtrack. It was one of the... We actually ordered the soundtrack, and... I actually kind of liked it. Yeah, and like, yeah, because like, I just remember like collecting video game soundtracks. I had the Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2, I had the vocal ones, and I had the F-Zero GX soundtrack. The F-Zero GX soundtrack, I don't have it anymore. I sold thing, got quite a bit of money for it, but like F-Zero GX soundtrack, I loved that thing. That was an awesome soundtrack. I don't know if you ever played F-Zero, but F-Zero GX had some really good music. Like
I've never played F-Zero, but I have heard the soundtrack, especially because of Smash Bros.
I'm talking about the GameCube
Give me
game.
a second here.
What's going on?
Dexter kind of rolled in something.
Okay, but like on the F-Zero GX soundtrack, it had vocal tracks for some of the characters like Captain Falcon and like Mrs. Arrow and Super Arrow and Dr. Stewart had it too, and Princea and Rainbow Phoenix and all them. Yeah, they had vocal tracks there for some of the characters only, but just that was fine with me. Like, trying to think what other soundtracks that I remember that I was familiar with. Like, of course, there was Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark has to be one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time, next to Resident Evil, and Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3. Like, there's some of my favorite soundtracks there. I mean, like, when it comes to, like the Capcom ones, like Resident Evil stuff, they know how to make great music, like especially, like, the save room themes. But of course, like, I don't know if you're still there, said that, but like, I know you had to, because you had to go away from it because Dexter was causing trouble. But, you know about the DualShock soundtrack for Resident Evil, the original Director's Cut, right? You know
I'm
about
back.
that.
Sorry about that.
That's okay, but like I'm talking about the Resident Evil soundtracks there, and you remember the DualShock soundtrack I told you about?
Yes.
Yeah, why don't you tell people about that?
God.
I want you to tell people about that because since I made you
How
listen
can
to it,
I explain the atrocity?
simple, just try and explain it all. There's no way of trying to explain, just explain it.
It's atrocious. Just get the original version.
I know.
Problem solved.
The sad thing is that like that version, the DualShock version, is with the crappy soundtrack, is the version made available on the PlayStation Network store. So you have to get that version if you want to download it for your PS3, which I don't really do. I just buy my games physically and stuff. I don't like downloading stuff. Taking up space on my PS3 hard drive for that. But like excuse me, but like it's just, yeah, it was just, but you wanna know what's sad? The DualShock version was the first version of the original Resident Evil I got. But then when I was still young, I learned about the long boxes and saw they had Resident Evil in a long box. I got that and the Black Label Director's Cut and saw that the soundtrack was much better. Anybody would stick with that one any day, you know what I mean?
Sorry, I'm just listening to one of the vocal tracks from Sonic Forces. I just wanted to clear my mind from remembering the atrocity of that DualShock.
I know, that,
Release.
like, anybody, like, just that, sure, there are some people who like that soundtrack. If they do, hey, props to you. But it was just, oh my lord.
I don't mean to be rude, people, but if you somehow like that, I question your taste.
Yeah, especially the basement
Just
theme.
kidding.
Like, especially the mansion
Kind of.
basement. Yeah, especially the. Oh, go ahead, talk first.
I'm done talking.
Oh, especially the mansion basement theme. Like that mansion basement theme was probably the worst. Like it's just that apparently they had the wrong instruments recorded on there and stuff, and it's just oh my lord, that was just terrible. But I remember, like I just remember, like I don't know how I liked that soundtrack and stuff. That like I don't know right now. When I first heard the first floor mansion, second floor mansion themes in the DualShock versions, that one version I had, those songs scared me to death so much that I cried the first time I heard them. But now that I want myself, what the heck was I crying about? Because I guess you're older, you realize how dumb it is to worry about the stupid songs like that. Because
Yeah,
there's
but music can play a big impact in video games,
yeah,
setting the mood.
of course. And I
It can
remember
set the mood. It can give you a hint to a character's backstory.
yeah,
It
because like
can, the
the
right track can set up so much.
yeah, like the worst part about the DualShock soundtrack are those ear raping trumpets and horns and stuff and horns that you hear, like the saxophone stuff. Those are so ear rape. It's like they couldn't have enough of
Hmm.
those. But like just like when you hear the original sounds scary. It sounds like horror. But the DualShock is just like it's just like it's like what the fuck is this shit? Like I don't remember this. Like what is this shit? And because I remember like thinking to myself, oh my lord, because like the funny thing is it's just I wanted to collect all Black Label with Lit Label games for some odd reason, so I sold all my greatest hits games, and that's how I learned about. There we go. That was a better one. I can't believe that, but like it's just yeah. But of course, like the soundtracks for Resident Evil 2 and 3 were good, especially Resident Evil 3 soundtrack. Like Resident Evil 3 has one of the best soundtracks ever, especially the save room theme, free from fear, and like of course like a city in ruin theme and the clock tower theme and the hospital theme and stuff and the dead factory theme. Those are all really good. In fact, like when I first heard the songs, the track City in Ruin, I thought it was a happy tune because you're progressing in the game and all of a sudden the music is on. I thought it was a happy song, but I was wrong because like
How do you get happy from ruin?
I
City
didn't
in
I
ruins.
didn't know that was the name of the song when I was a kid. That's why. 'Cause I didn't know that was the name of the song. Cause I thought like you hear it after you rescue Brad in the bar, and like you leave the door and think, okay, you rescued Brad. That means that they're playing a song 'cause it's happy and stuff. But that's not the case at all. In fact, like I literally because there are two doors leading to the bar. One of them is locked from the opposite side that you have to unlock, and there's another one that goes into the bar. For some reason, I thought that when you left Brad, I thought that if you left Brad alone, you'd go out the door you came from. I thought it would play a different song like like that. In my head, I thought that song would play, but not the case at all. Why? I don't know, but the ending song for the Resident Evil games were good. Like they're all rock songs and stuff, and like the Resident Evil 3 ending song sounds so good. I thought it was gonna have lyrics in it for some reason, but not the case at all. But what can you do? And like, of course, like I don't mind. There are certain games in a series that share the same song. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like for example, Down Crisis 2, both share
Pokemon
the.
has been known for that because the main music piece of a lot of Pokemon games is da 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 da
I know.
da.
Yeah, I know. I had a lot of Pokemon games growing up, but
Like
but the thing
it's
is,
sort of like a signature of a series.
I know. In fact, like I remember having trying to think like Down Crisis 2 both shared the same save room theme. No joke. Like I thought, oh cool, it's the same save room theme because a part of me always wondered what the save room theme would be. Down Crisis 2, 'cause I didn't get that game right away. Then I hear it and I realize that oh, it's the same theme from the first game. That's cool. I guess they couldn't think of new ones. They just used the old one, which was fine. And of course, like Down Crisis 2 is one of the first survival horror games that with a saving theme to have double doors in it and stuff. Like, you know what I mean by that?
Double doors as in like two doors at the same time?
Yes, double door leading into a save room with a song with the save room theme playing, which I didn't think that was ever possible, but that happens in like a couple parts in the game. Yeah, like perfect example, the cockpit cabin on your hovercraft, which is like your base, and
And then you have like overworld themes that supposed to give you the sense of you're on some adventure.
yeah, like
And
Neptune.
sometimes that overworld theme will change depending what's going on with the story. Like if it the story took a sad turn, some games will actually change the overworld theme to like some sort of sad variation.
Yeah, in fact, like if you want to talk about a cool about game of the series, a cool soundtrack, the Hyperdimension Neptunia franchise. A lot of the games share the same music, but it's okay because the music is very catchy. The music they use in the game is also used in the anime children game Neptune and stuff like that, or Hyperdimension Neptunia the animation. So that is fine with me. Like it's made by the same company, so do that. Hell, games like Twisted Metal and Jet Moto share the same songs because they're both made by single track, so they're allowed to do that. And yet, like, just and some of them use even the same sound effects as well. So like, the rule is if you own the rights to both games, you can use the same songs for those games as long as it's not stealing, as long as you either get permission
It's not stealing if you already own it.
right, or you can for a different gaming company as long as you get the rights to do it.
But we all know how annoying copyrights can be.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
But that's a topic for
For
some
another
other
day.
time.
In fact, like what I find funny is that like I remember there was like just trying to think of a game here that had like a kick-ass soundtrack. I'm trying to remember what it is. Oh, probably Duke Nukem. The Duke Nukem games had a kick-ass soundtrack there because like just that it fits you in the role of like there's an alien apocalypse going on and stuff. And sure, like the songs like end abruptly or so, but still, I like that there. Cause like the thing is like a lot of first-person shooters and fighting games and stuff, JRPGs have memorable soundtracks. Like the Atelier series has some memorable tunes. Like my favorite tune,
Astral Blade.
yeah, like or Neptunia. Because I think is that my collector's edition that I showed you, Sadet, of Neptunia Mark II comes with the soundtrack.
Nice.
I never listened to it. I'm keeping it safe in mint condition.
That's going to be worth a lot in the future.
Yeah, I know. The thing is, like, I don't have the collector's
Hi,
edition of.
Dexter.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Hello, Dexter. I also remember, like, when there was soundtrack there, like, a lot of the soundtracks that were growing up, like, Mario 64 had a great soundtrack, like, mainly Inside the Castle. The Castle soundtrack was great. It's probably one of the most.
Do, 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 do,
Yeah, that song was actually used in
do,
Donkey Kong.
do, do,
A remix. Here's the interesting thing about that song. So that a remix of that song was used in Donkey Kong Country 3 in Wrinkly's Save Cave. No joke. When you see her playing Nintendo, that
Nice. That's pretty awesome.
I know, and like that's like
But
it
then
says,
again, in The Legend of Zelda, there's a Mario cameo.
yeah.
And so cameo from a few other Mario characters.
Mhm. But I can't say anything about it though because I don't know.
We'll
I'm not a
save
Zelda.
cameos for another chat.
Yeah. But like,
Because that can be a really fun one.
yeah, Senran Kagura. We're gonna talk about Senran Kagura here. That one has a great soundtrack too. Rock and roll soundtrack with the girls hacking flashing away. That fits pretty well there.
Mm-hmm.
And like with Death and Request is the same thing. Like it's got the Neptunia sounding soundtrack. Because people made Neptunia made that game. And also like trying to think there. Of course, there's a lot of games here I own here. So bear with me here, people. Ninja Gaiden, like Ninja Gaiden Sigma and stuff has a cool
You want to
soundtrack.
know what's one of the most important themes to be made?
What?
One of the most important ones is the final boss theme.
Of course, yeah. Like one of my favorite ending boss themes is from Time Crisis. Like the Time Crisis ending final boss theme, and the credits theme itself just fits perfectly. It's like it's like the game is so frustrating that it's gonna take your frustration out with a cool song with the time limit and more.
Not just that, but it's like Fly Octo Fly slash Ebb and Flow
Hmm.
from Splatoon 2, the Octo expansion. That theme, that final boss theme is pretty much the theme of the two singers in the background cheering your character on.
Hmm. I never thought of that for some reason. Don't know why.
And then you get like Persona 5 Royal, where the final boss theme, the lyrics is actually a plea from the final boss himself saying, "Stop fighting. I can end your pain. Just let me take control.
It's like Sonic. It's like the Sonic
I can
Heroes Metal
get
Overlord Lord theme with like what I'm made of. That fits perfectly too.
what I made of fits both Sonic and Metal if you listen to the lyrics right.
Yeah. It's like try to
But
take my energy, try to keep inside of me. Let me show you just what I'm made of.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Try
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, sorry,
You
sorry.
okay? Oh dear. But yeah, I remember like there was like I'm trying to think of a soundtrack there that I really enjoyed that was surprisingly awesome. Like of course like the Dead or Alive soundtrack, the Dead or Alive game soundtrack was good. Like of course one of the cool things about like Dead or Alive 3 and 4 and like Dead or Alive Ultimate 2 had songs by the band Aerosmith in the game. No joke, no joke. Songs by Aerosmith. I
I'm
mean
sorry, still
it's
got a little something in my throat.
don't worry, take your time. That it's all good.
I know.
I'm just
Stop
telling.
rushing me.
I am
Stop
not.
rushing me to take my
Oh,
time.
haha, very funny. Oh, very funny. Very funny. Yeah. Yeah, she's okay, people. She's laughing. She's fine.
If you can laugh, you're fine.
Yes. Or if you fall, you cry, you're fine. It's what parents say. If you fall, you cry, you are fine. They all say. There was a soundtrack that I really enjoyed. It was the Mugen Soul soundtrack. The Mugen Soul soundtrack had like that orchestral horror feel to it at times, like when you're in like the lava worlds or the fire worlds and stuff. Let's try and talk about some soundtracks that are bad, like some bad video game soundtracks. We gotta talk about a lot of good ones. Talk about the bad ones.
Before we go over to the bad ones, I just want to say I love the soundtrack of Lunar Dragon Song. The soundtrack of that game is like the best thing about it.
I never
It's a
heard of
good
it.
game, but the soundtrack is so outstanding.
I never heard it though. Yeah, like when you talk about bad video game soundtracks, I have a bad one. Men in Black 2 Alien Escape for the PlayStation 2 and GameCube. The music there is so bad. It's just like three new notes like bow 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 like over and over. Like no change in it whatsoever.
No tempo change or key chain or or any type of chain.
No. No. Not
Damn, that's
yeah.
gotta be repetitive and annoying as hell.
Well, what do you expect? There are
I
lot of
seen
go ahead.
I seen 8-bit games do better with a single thing because they add variations to that single bit.
The funny thing is that a lot of games do that. They think they can get away with stuff like that.
Like just going do 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 over and over again. That's not a music piece. That's just
Lame.
an annoying loop.
Yeah, I know. Cause like Mortal Kombat, like Mortal Kombat had some repetitive music in some of the games. Like Mortal Kombat 3, one of my favorite 2D Mortal Kombat game. It's like the Choose Your Destiny theme is like bada bada bam bada bada bum bada bada bam bada bada bum bada bada bam bada bada bum bada bada bam bada bada like that over and over. Just like which I don't mind it. I don't mind that because like I said, it was a 16-bit game. I understand that, but still, it can get a
It
little.
had its limitations, but it was done in a way that it's like, this is a fighting game. This is a fighting game. This is a fighting game.
Yep, and like trying to think like I don't like if you want to talk about some like trying to think of some bad soundtracks here. Like oh man, what game has a bad soundtrack here? Like Mario was
Mm,
missing while the music was catchy and stuff like that. It had like a go around the world feel to it. It's just you heard those songs before.
the game
And
itself is bad.
I know. I actually owned that game. My dad got it for me for a birthday present because he thought I
I'm
was gonna.
trying to think here. Have I played any games with with an atrocious
Like,
music track?
I have like Ridge Racer 6 did not
I
have a
don't
very good
think
sound.
I have.
I have played some. Like Ridge Racer 6 had a bad soundtrack, and they're just recycled from other Ridge Racer games. At least like with Ridge Racer 7, they had their own music tracks. The Ridge Racer 6 was just copy from the PSP games like that. That's just what it was. It just got pretty annoying there and such is the thing. Hell, like Ace Combat 3 Electrosphere, like my least favorite PS1 Ace Combat game had like, just like, was just like, the tune's just not very good. But hell, I can't believe we didn't mention this soundtrack in the good one, but we'll go back to the good in a little bit here. Excuse me, I had to sneeze here.
I think that's all I'm able to talk about is good music tracks.
Yeah, but it's fine though. Like it's just we should have mentioned Grand Theft Auto 3. Grand Theft Auto 3 had like a cool soundtrack and stuff. It was like it's just while the songs were done by
Wait,
licensed people who
GTA had a soundtrack?
GTA 3, like on the radio stations, you know what I'm talking about?
Then again, I never played GTA,
There we go.
so
That makes sense there. That makes sense.
we even went over this in one of the previous videos.
Yeah. Like I remember like trying to think of some cool soundtracks. Too. Like the Star Wars games had some good sets, had some good ones. But I remember like with Star Wars with Rebel Strike, Rogue Squadron 3, they had some of its original no songs, but they just did not sound very good. Like just some of it sounded like it could have been used in like other games or so. Just that's just what it was there. And like when the Rogue Leader had a great soundtrack, like some of the original tracks sounded good, but Rebel Strike it's like they just stopped caring for some reason. Like there was just no care to when they did that for some odd reason. Don't know why. It's just my opinion, of course, but still. And like I remember trying to think of another soundtrack that I played that was not very good. Shoot, like probably the Wave Race soundtrack, Wave Race 64 soundtrack was not the best because like it just sounded, while it sounded like jet ski, it sounded like summer. It did sound a little kiddie at the same time as a thing. That's what it was like. It's just that. Because like, and of course like Star Fox Command did not have a very good soundtrack along with that gibberish voice acting. They had a crap soundtrack at the same time. And hell, the Resident Evil Deadly Silent had a remix soundtrack of the soundtrack, which was better than the DualShock version.
Dexter, what are you staring at?
Yeah, give her some. Be patient with her, people. She's got a cat in the room.
Like he was just doing the big eye thing at something. Are you staring at me, Dexter? Are you staring at me?
Hmm.
Oh, you such a silly boy.
Yeah, it's a silly cat. But like some
Sorry.
no, it's fine.
Sorry.
But like some soundtracks, while sound good, don't fit the game at all. Like perfect example, Rainbow Six Lockdown had like this heavy metal soundtrack, which was not really necessary. Didn't really fit the game at all. Like same with Halo 2 soundtrack was just basically like had unnecessary rock tunes in the game, which wasn't really needed. Same with Far Cry Instincts too. Far Cry Instincts,
They could
while
have just been trying to appeal to the people that's into those music
yep,
types, but
yeah, some of Sonic
it
Hero,
kind of fails.
yeah, some of Sonic Nick Heroes vocals. So, no, not the vocals. Some of the songs in Sonic Heroes was not very good either. Like just some of it sounded like kind of saccharine green cute. Like perfect example for the license with the not so good license soundtrack. It's still Extreme Beach Volleyball had the cutesy like female songs like Bewitched and Spice Girls. Which I do like the Spice Girls, but I don't want to play one.
Stop right now.
Don't sing that, because we'll get in trouble for sure. Okay, we'll get in trouble for YouTube for sure for doing that. But like, had like songs by Spice
I'm
Girl.
pretty sure they wouldn't know what to get us in trouble with everything I've been singing so far.
Well, Spice Girls is a licensed track, that's why. But like, I do remember with them, like that with do you know how the Xbox had the custom soundtrack?
Nope.
Well, the,
Remember, I don't touch Xbox.
when I had an Xbox, the Xbox allowed you to have for certain games. You're allowed to put your own songs to play in a game. Like Dead Beach Fireball, that was a perfect example because they had 20 tracks and they all went by fast. So you were able to get the option to do this your own soundtrack, which I didn't bother with the original soundtrack. Like just hearing that, which I liked the bands Bewitched and Spice Girls and all that stuff, but I didn't want to hear them in the game. I wanted to put my own songs. I put like songs by like Nickelback or Bryan Adams or or so like that, or Depeche Mode or Hoopstick when playing it, because that was better. But that's kind of off topic there. But like,
At least they gave flexibility to what songs you wanted to hear.
of course, and hell, like games
There's
like
even some PC games that have mods that lets you do that as well.
I know, I've
Like
known
I
that
know there's a Minecraft mod that lets you play YouTube video sounds in your game.
But yeah, like I do remember there was also a what else was there? What other soundtracks there were good that just weren't really while good just didn't really fit. Like probably I mean like no, not Prince of Persia Warrior Then I kind of like the hard rock music to it.
I can't think of any that doesn't fit at the moment, so
Yeah, because like I guess I should admit I was not a big fan of Sonic Unleashed's soundtrack. I was not a big fan of that soundtrack. I just felt like the rock music was better than the orchestral music. That's just me though.
but hey, the orchestra version of Endless Possibility was badass.
I understand, but that just wasn't for me though.
Do, 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 do,
Yeah,
do, do,
and
do, do.
I remember like when I which is just surprising why they were the change in the music, but like Rumble Roses. You ever heard of a game called Rumble Roses?
Nope.
Well, Rumble Roses was an all-female wrestling game. It had like its own versions of like Yankee Rose by David Lee Roth and Hot for Teacher by Van
Oh my
Halen.
freaking god, Dexter.
And
How are you able to play
I'll
like
wait.
that?
Let me wait until you till the cats.
Sorry.
Well, like I do.
Dexter's kind of like laying in my lap against my arm in a way that he's kind of upside downy.
Yeah, I do remember like with the Rumble Roses, it had like I mentioned, it had like covers by covers of songs by like Yankee Rose by David Lee Roth and like Hot for Teacher by Van Halen, which are good songs, but so while the covers were good, so just like some of the instrumental tracks just were just not the best, but that's just me though. In fact, like I remember when I got like well, no, not first. It's like trying to think here. Like what was a crap soundtrack that I didn't like? Oh man, that is a tough one there.
Probably a really bad port with a really
Oh,
bad...
I know one. Largo Winch Commando Star, one of the worst games on the PS1. It pretty much had the same song over and over. It's just do do do.
You can get away with the single song in your game depending if your game was made back in like the 80s or 70s when things were limited and you wanted your arcade game to stand out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But like you said, Largo Winch had like basically like three or four tracks throughout the game, and they all sounded bad. They just looped constantly over and over. It was just like not fun. Like they were like so bad and just like oh my lord. Like just holy shit. Like why was that even possible? Why was that even possible? I do not know, but like yeah, like just it was lame. It was boring. Like in fact, some games don't even have any music at all, and so you just have to use your imagination.
Which is excusable for very, very early video games, but unless the game is having like those moments where it's better for there to be no music because there are cases where the scene works better if there's no music compared to music.
Yeah, because like certain games, they can actually get away with not having music. Like I'm trying to
Hmm.
think. You're like, I know Killzone, there are times in Killzone where there's no music, which it gets away with. And even Dead Space gets away with like not having any music because it's supposed to immerse you in the horror, in the sci-fi horror aspect.
Yeah, Dead Space relies more on the ambient sounds rather than actual music until certain things crop up.
Yeah, and Dead Space was definitely was yeah, Dead Space was definitely one of my favorite games on the PS3. So yeah, that was.
Dead Space is really creepy too with how Twinkle Twinkle Little Star is being sang.
You ever see the animated made a movie Dead Space whatever it's called the prequel to the first game with
Yeah, I've seen it.
yeah, which was just kind of top here, but I just want to think like how they have that twinkle twinkle little star at the end of the movie when the main character Alyssa dies. So yeah, did you hear that too on the Ishimura?
Mhm.
But
Twinkle, twinkle. I can't do it that creepy. It needs to be like I need to sing it, then have somebody edit it to be super creepy.
it sounds like there is a version of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star called Twinkle Twinkle Little Bat. How I Wonder Where You're At. Like that my music teacher taught me. Karen, it's like Twinkle Twinkle Little Bat. How I wonder where you at. Like that.
Some people are really silly with their parodies, but
Well, a bat instead of a star. It was like around Halloween. I guess that makes sense there. Yeah. And
people are just silly in general.
yeah. I
And
also
then you
go
you
ahead.
get to tracks that actually emphasize a gag in a game.
Like, what do you mean?
Like a little practical joke or just like a joke in general. And sometimes, depending on what's going on, or even just something stupidly funny in general,
Yeah, cause like trying
the
to
right track can emphasize the funniness,
mm-hmm.
especially if the chat is automated, like how the characters are talking. And with it being timed just right to the music can really add to the punch. The fruit punch. I'm sorry, that bad. That's
No,
bad.
it's fine. Do it. It's fine. Said that. It's fine. In fact, like I do like I'm trying to think of another good soundtrack there. What good soundtrack track did I remember when I was younger? Like of course like I'm trying to think of like the 3D or like Tomb Raider had a good soundtrack. Like Tomb Raider had a great soundtrack too. There's Tomb Raider games and Croc Legend of the Gobles had a great soundtrack. Like like the main theme was
If I recall, didn't Spyro also have a pretty good track?
of course Spyro Crash Bandicoot they all did yeah. Like of course like Crash Bandicoot 1 didn't have the best soundtrack, but it had a good soundtrack though, definitely. It had a
It
good
was
sound.
good enough to pass, right?
Yes. Do 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 do
Because
do
it
do
was
do do
technically
do.
the first game.
Right. And same with Spyro and Croc and Gex and all of them. Yeah, my favorite song from Gex was not only the main theme but like the new Toonlin Lin stage song where like dum bum ba dum bum 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 ba do 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 yeah like that was cool there I love that song and of course like I'm trying to think well Ridge Racer had its own type of Japanese like techno I know trying to think like Starblade Blade Alpha. Starblade Alpha didn't really have much music. Like it's just basically just it's a rail shooter. It mints yourself into space. That's what it is. There, it mints yourself into space. And of course, I mentioned Time Crisis, Ridge Racer, and all that stuff. And there was Cyber Sled. Cyber Sled had music similar to Ridge Racer. You just like it was like one of the first vehicle combat games where you're piloting these sleds or actually tanks and just like it's got like that early '90s Japanese techno no sound to it, and I like that early because me being a '90s guy, I love that stuff. And of course, Mr. Driller works too in its own way. Like Mr. Driller was which was cool, but also Ratchet and Clank. The original Ratchet and Clank had a much better soundtrack than the fucking 2016 remake. I'll give you that much. I'll say that much too, because when it comes to like I said before, remakes and stuff and soundtrack are just not really the best in my opinion. Like, so I prefer originals better. Just originals better, and just that's what it is. And of course, like Dynasty Warriors, like the meaning mention how Sadet on a plays like Dynasty Warriors has its rock stuff, but that's different though. Like that's a hack and slash game. That works in its own way, so that's fine. Even Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter had like a rock soundtrack, which actually kind of works in its own way. It's just a bunch of schoolgirls killing zombies, like Chambra style. But like, do you have anything else? What else do you want to say about like soundtracks, like soundtracks that you liked and everything?
Yes,
Like what?
I love the Golden Sun soundtrack
Oh, I should have
and
known
the
you.
Sword of Mana soundtrack and a good amount of the Mega Man game soundtracks.
Hmm.
The Pokemon soundtracks
I know you're
are
into
amazing.
Pokemon.
And
Yeah.
while Sonic games tend to be a mixed bag, I feel like Sega should just turn into a music production company since they tend to come out with some slamming songs.
In fact, if we're gonna talk about good soundtrack, you gotta talk a little more about Vocaloid. Like Hatsune Miku and Vocaloid, you have the one go-to song that you like, and for me, like in each Hatsune Miku game, like my favorite song in Hatsune Miku Project Diva F is Tengaku, and my favorite song in Silent Toby Project Diva F second is Blackjack by Mega Man and Luca, and the third in Project Diva X. I don't remember. I didn't like the game that much, so I don't remember the name of the song. I know which one I'm talking about. I just don't remember the name of it. But when it comes to Project Future Tone, it's like the Wind with Kagami Rin and Mega Man Luca in it. So that was a good one there too. Like, it's just it amazed me that like there's so many good songs like that, and like especially because like there's a ton of them. In Project Future Tone, like over 240 songs there, and that's a lot compared to like the 30 they had in Project Diva X and stuff. Only 30 of them, and like yeah. And of course, the rapper series also has some memorable tunes as well. But I'm generally better
Mm-hmm.
come more into like the rock tunes and stuff. But oh, I can't believe I have to mention this one. The Myst games, like Myst, M-Y-S-T, Myst, the point and click game. Those had some memorable songs as well,
Never
composed by
heard of
like
them.
what?
Never heard of that songs.
Though
Just
you would,
songs. That
well,
game.
you would like them. I know you would like them because like that they're orchestral, they're industrial, and like Miss, like I can't believe I forgot about Miss. That was like just a series I reviewed there. I can't believe I forgot about that. But like Mist had like its orchestral tunes. Like some of them were some of them could sound kind of have a creepy feel to them, but they were good in their own ways. And you want to talk about good theme songs? The first two Siphon Filters had an amazing theme song. Like I love the original Siphon Filter games theme song because the Siphon Filter theme is badass and stuff. They didn't use it in the newer Siphon Filter games like Logan Shadow and Dark Mirror. There was a crappy remix version of it in the Omega Strain, but that doesn't really count. And yeah, like and of course like Max Payne had some good music too, and yeah, and Hitman as well had like the chanting. I love chanting music, so that was also really good. I mean, you can't go wrong with music where you chant and everything because it's just the way it is there. And like
Yeah.
it goes like how
And depending on how the chanting is done, it can make for a really intimidating final boss scene.
it's true, it can. Like of course, like and also Donald Duck going quackers on the PS2 also had a good soundtrack surprise because like it's just that Donald Duck was for a kids game and like they had some really good music there. Like Donald Duck going quackers, yeah. Like of course I know try to say that 10 times fast, but yeah. But like if you want to talk about a game that had actually surprisingly interesting soundtrack, it's the Spider-Man 2 movie game on the PS2 and GameCube and Xbox. It's got these kick-ass rock tunes, which I did not expect. I did not expect them to have that until I heard of stuff like interesting choice of music is like their activation to like use in the movie-based games. Just that something about it was just really good. I don't know. It's one of these rock tunes for some reason. And even 1080 Avalanche on the GameCube has some licensed tunes, but it also has songs by bands that probably exclusive to games a band called Squid, a band called JP, and like Socket Zero and stuff. Which there's no Wikipedia on them and stuff either. So chances are it's probably just a band that made music just for the video game. So yeah, if that makes sense, that yeah, but it's just you get what I mean. There's to that.
Hmm.
Yeah, because like some so like that, like some of them don't really need to be licensed to be to sound good is what I mean. Like the vocal tracks and stuff like I mentioned, and of course like Wave Race Blue Storm had a great soundtrack, much better than the soundtrack for Wave Race 64, that's for sure. And yeah, I can't believe I'm mentioning a lot of GameCube games here, but it's because that the GameCube gave an interesting choice of music there. Like even Metroid Prime was just basically didn't really need much music there because just immerse yourself in the game there, and that's what it was. In fact, like I remember having like of course Mario Golf Toadstool Tour had an interesting golfing soundtrack with some guitars in it and stuff. Like it had some like you can tell
Yeah,
there's
that game is really interesting in general, despite being a golf game.
interesting
But
how.
the new Mario Golf game is even more interesting.
How so? Even though it's off topic, how so?
It's just interesting to me how it's like golf. Golfing's usually boring, but it's just like so. It's like done in like Toadstool Tour is done in like this cartoony fashion with that opening.
Oh, I like it so shiny. Yeah,
And then you got the new Mario Golf game that recently came out. Bowser should have won that.
yeah. But like it was
Bowser
all.
should have won that game.
Yeah. But like, oh crap! I just had a soundtrack in my head, but I lost. I know one. We were talking about golf. Swing Away Golf has an interesting golfing soundtrack, which sounds like golf, but just it sounds positive, and I like how it sounds positive. It's the thing.
Hmm.
Like the positive soundtrack. Yeah, I like it. I like the positive soundtrack. Like the positive soundtrack. Like it's just like when you hear your caddy talking. This is the second shot. Be sure to be careful. Like just you do that. Just that I like that sound. Like that the peaceful sounding soundtrack. And of course like the Spy Hunter series has the Peter Gunn theme. The Spider-Man no Spider has like the Peter Gunn theme, and they were the own version of Peter Gunn theme along with some rock tunes and stuff. That works there also. And just a
Hmm.
lot of memories. There's just tons of memories about it. And just it feels good to be able to hear that type of music because like it's just all the memories you
Yep.
have and everything are just memories indeed. Of like, holy crap, can't believe you can say that, because like, trying to think of some other. Of course, like, also the opera known as Forever had like this James Bond like sounding music where like it was basically like James Bond with the female protagonist. Like that had a cool ass James Bond like sound with the theme song where it's like, but no one lives forever. I don't know the rest of the words, but I just hear that just makes you remember think of
You know what track is also important?
which one?
Tracks that are made for the trailers of the game.
Yeah, like I Ninja on by Namco had this like rock sounding song that was only in the
Tadpole
trailer.
Treble. The thing, the advertisement song made for Tadpole Treble is pretty much what got me interested in that game. Why waste time doing things that are lame when you could be playing a game?
I never heard that before ever. Like, I never heard that.
I'll send it to you in a bit if I can find it.
Sounds like a plan. We're almost at the 1 hour marker, so we're probably right at like almost 58 minutes there, so we'll probably have to wrap up here because we've been talking about a lot of interesting video game soundtracks. It's amazing how video game music has evolved over its time. You know, like compared to how like it used to be, like with 8 bits, like that. Now how it is now, it's like technology has become very advanced and everything. Like technology has become so advanced to where like we have the great sounding music and stuff, like licensed tracks, in-game music with lyrics, whatever you want.
But
It's enjoyable.
unfortunately, some games are kind of focusing a little too much on the music than the actual gameplay.
I agree, some of them are, which is can be a turnoff there, but I've seen worse. I've seen worse thing, but still, it just
True.
happens. It just happens with the best of us. Just it's hard to explain. But I remember like just like when even there was movie based games stuff like that. they also sound good also. But you know, like, it's video game music. You love certain ones, you hate them, you love them, you hate them. But it's okay though in the end. Because you wanna know why? Because it's music. I mean, if it weren't for this type of music, we wouldn't have the popular kick-ass video game music and stuff like that. Like you wouldn't have like Tommy Tobico Studios, that was the case. Like who made like music for games like Terminator for the Sega CD, which I forgot to mention. Like
Mhm.
that had an awesome rock soundtrack, and I actually respect Tommy Tobico. He's one of the coolest guys ever. I've watched him on Judgment Day and G4 back when G4 was
Yeah,
awesome.
as stated, 9 times out of 10, Sega makes some bopping tracks.
I agree. Like the Vocaloid like song.
Which is why I feel like they're better off becoming a music production group rather than a video game group.
How true that is, because I think it's really cool there, definitely. Like, because we wouldn't have Tommy Tallrico Studios if that was the case. Like, Tommy Tallrico also developed the soundtrack for the game Earthworm Jim or in Wild Nine and all of them and stuff. And Jamal Never Dies,
Hmm.
the double seven Jamal Never Dies on the PS1 we wouldn't have those either. But like, just there's so much we could talk about, but we only have like an hour to talk about. Like it usually goes for an hour long, and we're at the 1 hour mark. But anything else to say before we end it here?
Hmm.
Wait, do you have anything else to say before we wrap up?
Please listen to the soundtrack of Lunar Dragon's song. It's a really amazing soundtrack, I promise you.
We believe you, Dad. We believe you. I know I believe you, definitely. So yeah, we'll listen to it for sure. People who want to hear it will definitely hear it for sure. That's pretty much all we gotta say for this episode of TTBurger's Friday Talk, Burgers Friday Game Talk with a Shake, episode 12. Episode 13, whatever topic comes to mind, we'll talk about. Hopefully, Grim Monolith will be back for the next episode. But heck, let's take Sadet did a great job being the co-host here once again. So second time just be me and her.
Yeah,
So
of course I did a good job. It's
of
me
course.
after all.
Yes, Sadet, I know you did a good job, man. You know, like we're looking.
I'm just messing around with the pompous princess sort of thing.
I know you are, Sadet. I know. We all know. But that's just pretty much all we got to say for this episode. The game reviews will continue, so look for them and expect some more podcasts coming up in the future. Burgers will continue, the game reviews will continue, and more. But all I gotta say is it's Tony and Sadet. Peace out and have a good day. See you all in the next episode of Burgers and Fries Game Talk with a Shake.
So therefore, happy gaming.
Happy gaming! And play nice now. Share and share. Is all we gotta say.
Oh, and because it's summer, make sure to drink lots of water.
Please do. Drink lots of water and try to try to like stay healthy and stuff like that and just not get overheated and stuff. But it's all we gotta say. Pretty much all we gotta say. This is Tony. It's a dead peace. Not
So see us next time.
See you next time. Bye. In the words of Lucky Chloe from Tekken 7. See you next time. Bye. That's all I gotta say. Take care, everybody.